undefeated, locked and loaded, we about to blow. Caught him with that left, I leave him tapped out on the floor. Sounding itchy, sticky, swishy, watch me bank a score.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the semifinals day of the Tenax Blitz series. This is the second series. I'm so excited to cast. Soren will be my co-caster here. Soren, what are we looking like? It's going to be AKV versus MEOW. And, I mean, what's the stats looking like?
Incredible. I mean, this is the first seed out of, I think, Group A and the second seed out of Group B, if I might have got the letter switched around there, but it's the 1 and 2 seed coming out from these groups. And to say these are two very high-powered teams would be an understatement. MEOW going 3-1, only losing to MVSK in their final game of groups yesterday. Obviously, both teams also winning their quarterfinal round last night, so already we're in the semis, so high caliber teams in that regard. But AKV also went 4-0, and I know we did get to see AKV yesterday, but I mean, I went and checked out their Wikipedia because I wanted to go see. And if you check out their Wikipedia, by the way, just expect to see just an entire page of gold. I saw 1 second place finish, and besides that, in all like VCT B tier events, it's just first for LATAM. So this is an incredibly good team, though the MEOW roster is also very good. They have a lot of experience together. So I'm expecting this to be a game 3 banger because, man, there's so much talent going to be on the field today.
Yeah, for sure. And we will be starting out on Bind. AKV is going to be on that defense. And, I mean, I'm excited to see. I feel a little bit sad that the first ban was Haven. I feel like that's one of the classics that you see in the second or third maps for sure. But they got that one out of the way right off the bat here. So we're going to be seeing Split and Pearl in those second and third maps. And I kind of love that Pearl is the decider map because I think that is definitely one of those maps that requires a lot of coordination. Definitely, you know, fighting in that mid space is super dangerous for both sides, as well as, you know, those long angles for those that love to have the ops or the snipers. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really exciting. We're going to start out on Bind. AKV right now undefeated. So we will see if MEOW can knock them down a peg. But sort of said, you know, they've been very dominant in their other matches. So definitely a rearing Hydra to defeat here. I'm excited to see what happens. We've seen a lot of great teams throughout this entire tournament. However, in the semifinals, things are going to whittle down, and we're going to see the picks here. Soren, what do you think of these team comps?
Right now, I don't think there's anything that's too crazy. I'm actually pulling up and take a look and see what some of the most popular compositions for this map is in general. I am a little surprised to see the double brimstone stem from both these teams. I think right now, oh, never mind. I'm actually looking at the complete wrong map. The statistics. I was gonna say I know that's you know, historically a very good pick, and I would be correct. Yeah. So that actually. I am incorrect there. Brim, definitely very popular. I think both of these teams sticking pretty heavily to what is currently meta. Both teams, I think, is this an exact mirror composition, actually? Yeah, this is an exact, no.
Almost. Yoru and Waylay.
So, slight difference in composition in terms of the duelist, though I do think that that is going to be a big deal. Obviously, that double duelist setup for MEOW, the space-taking agent of Raze versus the Waylay. I personally typically lean Waylay. I think the get out free card for the recall is just so strong. That, you know, Raze just does not have the moment she's in and amongst the midst. She just kind of has to brawl. So I personally like the Waylay pick a little bit more, but having the Yoru as the second duelist, I think is so valuable, especially on a map like Bind where there's so many gate crash spots where you can just teleport to the complete other side of the map in an instant. And especially once you're on the defensive side and you have the operator in hand, you can just exert so much pressure across the entirety of the map with that operator. So I like both compositions. I like the Waylay pick, I think better for the duelist, but I like the double duelist with the Yoru a lot from MEOW. So I think this is going to be a very interesting map. I think the
I'm
defensive
ready.
sides are going to be the most critical part, though, which is going to be interesting because this is an attack-sided map. But I think whoever does best on their defensive end is going to get the leg up here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you talked about the double duelist composition, and I have to say, I'm really liking the double controller composition on the side of
I was
AKV.
ready. It's fine.
I don't know. I just like love controllers. I love Viper. So we'll see the Brimstone Mirror Gaming. I mean, that Stim Beacon is very strong, especially on that attack. So we'll see some early aggression. Trapper getting that first pick onto Raven, and that was definitely a door slamming shut. But they're going to continue to take this space quietly, but they're going to swing right back into the crosshair. A flash going out to maybe delay Trapper, and it's going to be a slow but steady execute here. Just walking onto the site. Rotate's already coming in, and I mean, the smokes everywhere are just cutting up the sight lines for everybody. Trapper getting another one onto Icy. Easy Money Spiker giving one onto Kestrel, and it is just a bloodbath. Owl finally getting a trade, but also falling, and it is a 1v4 situation. Just so many people on site. These rotations came in quickly, and I mean, Trapper just getting two there. Really just aiding the team to keep the defense stalwart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bloodbath.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to get any better there as they spot Luna again. I just don't know if I liked the smoke placement there as we see Dano able to pick up the last kill. There's going to be a caveat on the round first, but they do a bit of an alteration. I like to call them the guard smokes because we first really saw it with the guard, now, current day G2 roster, where you put them between both sets of the boxes to kind of cut off the front and the back of the site. They do a small alteration where they actually put it, on the right side of the box, but then they also cut off the line of sight from showers or lamps, or excuse me, for lamps. But in that, they also really make it difficult for them to push out and take any space. So it's very sketchy.
Oh, what an early pick.
Aggression.
Yeah, I mean, AKV taking all the time in the world just to take some early aggression, and that's exactly what you want to see. A nice other pick. Ivy in a kind of ratty spot. They did not clear that little corner under box, and they're going to have to pull back and reassess here their choices of pushing this site. Gonna have to re-clear and decide if they want to rotate or take a little bit longer of a push. We're seeing them kind of put out some arms here.
Switch back.
Looks like they want to go A, but they just have no information. They're going to be running right to the arms of Trapper here now with the Outlaw.
I mean, absolutely no info. Trapper getting another one. Just every single push getting shut down by AKV.
Yeah, now in a 2v5 scenario, it seems very unwinnable. They are going to put the smoke down, so a little bit of investment, but the Molly is going to find the planter. Blue Owl falls there, and then Dystopia just runs through with the Spectre. Very easy round for Kave, though notably, I think MEOW did get one kill there, so they do a little bit of damage. They also get a little bit of credits in their back pocket. They are going to be able to buy into this round, but notably, Luna Fox is going to have to settle for Guardian, but it is full shields across the board, so they now have that gun advantage. This bonus should go their way as long as they probably play a little bit more aggressive here, especially seeing as it looks like the defense is going to try to catch them off guard with some aggression of their own. Here's
the aggression once more that we've been seeing. The flashes coming out. Seeker gonna try and get some kind of information, but I mean, every time they go for these pushes, they get immediately set down. And again, these early aggression spots with Ivy here, it's going to be hard. If they can get these timings and get these swings and successfully get these people, but I mean, the rotation's already in. I mean, they're already ready. And Trapper alone on A. It's not the side that you want to be pushing.
Yeah, Lone Soul holding down A. Meanwhile, so much util gets dumped into B. We see flashes, the fake out from the Yoru clone, as finally some push out comes through. Icy with the Vandals able to find that first kill. But the defense is holding strong as they're able to repel the assault. 2 falling as the rotate comes through, but they're going right into the open arms of Trapper with the Outlaw.
I mean, some nice trades from Raven there. Definitely picking up the pieces just a little bit. 2v2 situation, a lot more advantageous for MEOW than we have seen, but will be enough to finish out the round here. We've got Molly on the board, but I'm sure AKV has accounted for that at this point. Who knows? Can MEOW get this round? Spamming through the box. Dystopia is going to have to reposition here, but Dono is also here to back them up. I believe they have that Viper's Bite.
Vector in hand, they're going to have to play this aggressively. Raven's going to try to swing to stop the tap, but they're not going to be able to do so. That Molly's preventing it. They're running out of time. I don't think they're going to have it regardless. So MEOW is going to win this round just down to the timing. But, I mean, yeah, but that is still very costly for them. They full ball in, and despite their bonus having that gun advantage, AKV just make it super expensive.
Yeah, I mean, super close call there, winning that round. Some really great post-plant protocol you saw. I have to say, I mean, forcing there, you need to win that round, and they did, but it was also, you know, a costly one. Everybody died, got a few trades, but now we're going to see a full buy come out from AKV. Soren, how are we feeling?
Definitely feeling a little sketchy if you're MEOW. Obviously, they are going to full buy into this one because they know that it's going to be a buyout for AKV. But it's mostly Guardians. Ironically, I think Raven is the only one without Guardian last round, and now they can afford one. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is now picking up the Guardian. So it's definitely sketchy, and they're going to be running headlong into this guy who's going to have better weaponry, but they have the numbers advantage. But the flash comes in massive to make it 4 as the entirety of the push just dies out with a whisper, and now it's just Icy alone without the spike.
Super unfortunate there that everyone died. I mean, that's just awesome protocol. Icy getting 2 before falling, unfortunately, to a well-placed Molly. I think that's the name of the game this series, was some well-placed util, an amazing flash, and an amazing Molly securing those kills. And I have to say, I mean, MEOW had the right idea there. They waited on the push a little bit because they were expecting that aggression that we've seen from AKV. So I can't be upset, but at the same time, man, they are just so dominant in these early rounds.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that is going to be a game of who's going to have the better defense, because this technically is an attack-sided map. So this is going to be so important here as we see that teleport and then the recall going all the way across the map back to B. Just so valuable. They find 2 picks in the process, and now it's the numbers advantage 3-5.
I believe I heard Icy pop that tour de force, and this is an investment that MEOW wants this round badly here. They're down 2 rounds, and it's going to start becoming a deficit here. They're on a save. They want everything they can get. Let's see if they can make something happen.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
being
not aware
careful
though, of this Viper. They need to be so careful, especially as the other 2 do still just have pistols in hand. They're going to be running in the Trapper, whose shots do go wide, notably, but their location is spotted. And with they're not expecting the backstab.
Oh my. Super tragic for the side of MEOW. I mean, they had some good ideas there, but didn't think to check the flank. But in times like that, the pinch is inevitable. A nice little, I mean, they got a few kills, so a little bit of padding, and they're on that buy now. And we've seen op buy.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon buy too. Operator, no shields whatsoever. So It's gonna be a risky investment, but it's gonna be one nonetheless. They're probably gonna be hoping to find something in this B long position. I don't know if they're gonna expect the operator, and Icy just putting a pot shot through is definitely gonna give away a little bit of info. And now B long is gonna be a very scary place to push. Meanwhile, 2 players push up through hookah.
Yeah, I mean, those were definitely some warning shots here, and MEOW taking the space. We don't have Ivy pushed up here this time, but even again, hookah is a hard place to push onto a site. It's very sketchy, especially with that smoke down, and I mean, with the teleporter, we've seen the way AKV likes to use those teleporters, and we're going to flood onto A site and straight into Trapper Shorty. Whale going to be invested. The sniper going to get one. Dono trading. Kestrel getting another. And it is a 3v3 situation. Sniper getting one on the Raven here. And Icy going to trade them out. And suddenly, Icy is 1v2ing with an operator. And Plant is not down.
Yeah, this is a very sketchy spot. Typically here we would see a save for the...
Make sure to follow my pack in.
I mean, what a round there. They definitely were fighting tooth and nail, and I have to say it was a very admirable effort. I liked the call to rotate, but unfortunately, I mean, so much happening all at once that we never got Plant down, and we didn't win those trades.
Now we're in a bit of a deficit here. If you're MEOW, it's 1-5. AKV building up on the bank as well, sitting pretty. Meanwhile, MEOW rocking up with mostly just sheriffs. Icy, not even a advanced pistol in hand, and Trapper now with an operator themselves. I think being invested from Icy's buy last round is gonna make it very difficult to make an A push possible. They do finally
Raven with a deagle though. Trapper with another with the shorty. Sniper getting the last. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty clinical for this AKV team right now. It does help when you have someone like Easy Money Sniper on the waylay, just picking up 10 kills within the first 7 rounds, and you have Trapper right behind them with 9. So that's 19 kills between the two of them in 7 rounds. That's more than 2 apiece for just 2 of the players on your roster. That is some insane numbers. But we do now see a buyout coming from MEOW. This is a round in which they could turn the momentum back into their favor. But the operator from Trapper, the shot goes wide.
Raven getting a pick on the Ivy, and it's a dimensional drift here, invested in clear sight a little bit, as well as the Brimstone ult to catch out Trapper, and also the Raze ult as well being invested here. And that is so many picks. So many down on the defense here. 1v4. Can this be... Is this it? Is this the method? You can't do this every round. You can't invest 3 ults every round to secure it. But it's necessary for MEOW. They're getting desperate here. They're going to try and jiggle this angle here. But the spray recoil control is going to secure the kill. Although a little bit sketchy, I would say. It secures the round.
Yeah, definitely not a perfect round for them, but hey, when you're in a position like this, it's 1-6. You get any round you can. If it costs a little bit more than you anticipate it, then you take the win as it is. But now, they do still have a full buy-in, notably, with some regen and some light shields, which is not amazing, especially in the hands of their duelists, but they do at least have a buy, and they've done some substantial damage to AKV's bank. That being said, it's still probably 2 more rounds lost before they really feel it.
Raven getting a nice kill with the I believe it's called rockets? No. That's his
paint shells.
That's her ult. Yeah. Little paint shells. We'll see. Easy Money Sniper and Trapper on the side. The formidable opponents with the most notable fraggers right now from AKV. Not sure you want to go there. But we're gonna see. They're kind of shifting. Maybe for rotate, but they're all fighting in this one space. And I mean, if you're all lined up there, it could be dangerous, especially with this Ivy flash coming in with a flash of their own here. We'll see. A nice catch on Sniper, wiggling through those smokes, but I mean, there's so much to clear, especially with these smokes. To be super careful. Smokes are going to dissipate. Trapper still in showers, not been cleared out, and Ivy here on the rotate as well. They're going to quickly go and rotate into the B. But I mean, they heard the TP, and it's just going to be into Dono here. Gonna fall. Kestrel getting that nice one, but Ivy is also here on that rotate, looking super low on health. And it's a 3v2 post-plant situation. But if it's anybody, it's going to be Trapper and Ivy picking up the pieces here. Those shots from Icy not quite hitting. Ivy going to fall finally to the classic. It's Trapper all alone here. Going to get one onto Icy. Can this be salvaged for AKV? Let's see.
Yeah. Very difficult position. Luckily, they have enough bank that they can try to push this aggressively. Trapper's just going to try to force the issue. Maybe catch him off guard. He's going to catch both of them, but no, they're not going to be able to find or line up the shots. Raven is going to re-secure that up, so they will have it in hand. But that is the third round now secured by MEOW.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm glad that they got this round, especially after the last one. They really had to invest a lot to secure that round. So it's good to see a round that they know that they can win without all those investments. It's on the board. It's a statement that they don't need all the util to their advantage there. That they can win on other things. We've seen them utilize those teleporters a lot, and we're going to see kind of a default kind of contact up here from MEOW to check what the vibes are here. The dog's gonna see one. And the Hinder gonna come out, wheeling this teleporter. It's gonna be dangerous, but it's gonna recall all the way back after getting some info. Viper's pick gonna be invested by Dono, so that's gonna be a B site hit. It's gonna be a little bit tough, but it doesn't really cover that much of site, I would say. So it's not impossible, but they're going to opt to go to A when there's a 3 stack on this site. So I'm not sure. I mean, there's a Viper's put on B, A, Atlanta Trapper getting one on to Luna with that tour de force. And man, it's so intimidating with 2 ults invested from AKV. It's going to be a tough nut to crack, but not impossible if some miracles can happen. Easy Money Spectre getting one onto Raven and another onto Owl. Let's see Trapper with the last. And it is a door slammed shut on the MEOW.
Yeah, AKV with a massive comeback there. I mean, I liked what we saw from MEOW earlier, the round previous. They did have the triple smokes immediately invested, which is very expensive for the Brimstone to use all 3 at once. But they used, like I called them before, the guard smokes, cutting off the front of sight from the back. And then they also invested that third one to smoke off heaven, making it difficult for Trapper to get line of sight down through short. But we see a small alteration here from AKV where they have Trapper up on the boxes set in between the sight, which means they're actually able to get sight over the smokes and they're able to find the value. As Kestrel's just waiting for Easy Money Sniper, no more playing with portals, just gets executed the moment they try to pull out some shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely read that when it's predictable now, which I'm glad we see these adjustments from MEOW. They're expecting this now. They're not letting the same tricks get them. And Dystopia gonna have to smoke these off because it's scary to see that many people peeking you. But Ivy gonna get some aggression, gonna catch one onto Owl, expecting this rotate. Some beautiful work from AKV. And it's gonna be a little bit of a sight push here from Hookah. Let's see. Ivy is still here, not yet been cleared, but it's going to opt to give them that space and play a little bit more on site, which is okay. We'll see.
Very deep positioning as well. I mean, I don't know if they're going to expect Ivy to be sitting in such a vulnerable spot, so they need to be careful and clear every angle, and they do, and the execute is just nearly perfection.
Dystopia got that trade On to Raven. A 3v2 retake for Dystopian Trapper. Seeker's going to be invested here to kind of figure out where they are, make sure there's no flanks. And with that, we kind of know where to be watching from. A nice pick. Luna being very consistent this half. Let's see. Can Trapper make something happen here? Has been the fragger, notably. Has all this util to use to their disposal. But I mean, they're just everywhere. From every angle. It's gonna be tough. And yep, Luna with another to finish out the round. And that's another round on the board for MEOW, 4-7.
Yeah, this is a perfect position for them to be in. Obviously, probably would have wanted to put more rounds together on the attacking side, but getting the momentum right before the half swap is practically perfect for them. This is a very momentum-based game, Valorant, and having it rolling into the next half when you're on the downside does mean that you are at least putting yourself in a position to feel good going into the pistol. And if they're able to win out this last round, they bring it 7-5, they keep that momentum in, win the pistol, it becomes a very good possibility. It's a 7-7 at the start of half number 2.
We've got 2 camping in hookah here on the side of AKV and Ivy in this spot that we've seen them almost all game. And those dogs and flashes have gotten us a lot of info. We see there's not really much in showers, but I don't think it caught. Let's see. Did not see anybody down this long angle. So Luna gonna get one onto Ivy. And the Sniper's Bite gonna try and delay this push a little bit. When the rotations are already coming in, things are gonna have to speed up on the side of MEOW if they want this site.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just not happening. Yeah.
All 4 sitting in long. They're kind of just all confined into a very tight area, makes them like fish in a barrel, which is why we see them immediately take the teleporter out. The smokes go down, but the convergent paths are going to be invested to prevent them from making their way on the site, as Easy Money Sniper are going to run them down. A lopping invested to prevent them from getting out shower doors.
What a hinder. And there's just a cross angle of doom here. Dono getting that one. Trapper with the operator and the dimensional drift going to have to be invested, but there's no time. You have to plant the spike, and even then, you're going straight into the shorty of Trapper, and that is another round to AKV, bringing us to a 4-8 half.
Okay, AKV stabilize out at the very end of the half, are able to keep it in their favor. Now in a position where if they don't win the pistol, they'll still be in the lead going into the bonus. So they're going to be feeling really good in that regard. 4-round difference between them. And I believe, like I said, I think this is an attack-sided map. So the fact that they were able to put together 8 rounds on the defense is definitely going to be making them feel really, really good. Yeah, it is an attack-sided half. I will say it's not terribly so. It's not like one of the most one-sided maps in the game. It's only a 51% win rate for attack side. But the fact that they were able to put 8 on defense, they should be feeling confident.
Ooh, early aggression going to get punished by Sniper. Hinder going to be invested, and the wall is going to go up here. And I mean, Icy with the headhunter of their own fails to get a pick. It's going to be a flash invested here, but Icy with the classic is going to shut down Trapper's push. Ivy going to get that trade, and it's a free site. But Kestrel is rotating here to stop things. Plant going to be down. That's some money in their pockets already. Money that MEOW didn't really have in that early half. Kestrel going to get one on a Sniper. A beautiful rotate. Great rotations coming in, and Ivy going to get one onto Luna. Gonna get 3, and Donna with a pick of their own, and that is the entire team down and a round win for AKV. A nice pistol.
Why don't my right clicks do that? What is this, Valorant? No, but insane plays out from Ivy there. A triple on the round is going to give him a nice bunch of credits to buy out something a little bit extra going into this second round. We see them pick up the Bulldog. Is going to be nice if they're able to keep that. That will be a rifle that they can bring into round number 3, which should help when inevitably MEOW do get a full buy into their hands. They do also bring in an outlaw, Easy Money Sniper, finally picking up, a sniper. They've been mostly rifling the entirety of the game. Let's see if they can get some value out of that.
A nice trade from Icy. Luna gonna go down early. Casual, I swear, is just AFK at this angle. Okay. Signs of life. Signs of life. And we're gonna see a slower attack from AKV, which I'm kind of surprised because you could really just shove your guns in their faces. You have the gun advantage, but they're gonna play this one slower, and we're gonna see some rotations come in from MEOW. They know that they are here, dashing onto site here. Now things are gonna get active, and smokes are gonna come down. Plant going down. It's gonna be a retake, and so many smokes on site. Sniper gonna get a nice pick on the Icy, and nothing's gonna hit for Dystopia. Ivy gonna get that little bit of a trade. Ivy with another, just shots are hitting this half, I have to say, and Sniper with another to finish out the round.
And they are able to keep all of their heavy buy-in weaponry, so that's going to be feel nice for AKV as they cross that threshold into double digits. MEOW desperately need to start putting some rounds together. We see them full buy out as much as physically possible, but Luna having to come in with just the Bulldog. But again, Ivy, who's kind of hitting stride here, is catching up with Easy Money Sniper and Trapper at the top of the scoreboard when it comes to KDA. They are kind of hitting stride, and with this Bulldog, it could be a big difference maker if they're able to find an angle. And it looks like everyone is coming their way anyway, as we see 4 members of AKV slowly making their way down B long.
Nice pick from Luna there. Shutting gonna push another, and 3 for Luna. Do they know that there's another Trapper gonna get one on the Icy in that hookah space? Oh, and it's gonna fall. It's a nice little bit of damage. Kestrel gonna trade out Luna. And I mean, Luna being good for 3 there just really set up this round for MEOW.
Yeah, it's practically perfect there. Bulldog, no problem. Who needs a Vandal when you can just ADS and just burst fire everyone that peeks one by one? So they know they have the spike. They know there's only one means of entry. And now Trapper is trapped in a very awkward spot. They do the jump peek. They TP back out. They were unable to pick up the spike. And now we see the rotate through. 30 seconds still on the clock. There's really no reason besides keeping this Phantom for a save. But they all have enough money, so they should just push through, or at least attempt to find some more Elibs, and just a little too deep are the 2 sitting back to back.
This is a very hard defense to crack, and Trapper's at least gonna get Owl another. Whoo, that was scary, but Kestrel able to shut down that last push from Kestrel. I mean, that's scary. I mean, that's what you say, you don't back a hurt dog into a corner there, because they always go down swinging.
Very sketchy.
Nice,
very sketchy.
I mean, very sketchy round for AKV, but a nice one to put in the back pocket of MEOW, even though they are still, 5 rounds down.
Hey, you know what they say? Every comeback starts with 1 round win. So they're able to get 1 on the board. They just need to get 5 more in order to catch up. That being said, they're going to attempt to do something similar, AKV. Another pretty full push into B, but this time with weapons available to them. They are going to be a lot more aggressive. B long already taken, and Wele actually diving deep into B. They're going to execute on.
I mean, Slight is almost already cleared. Trapper getting one on the Icy. They're taking so much space here. I mean, these rotations themselves are going to be really dangerous, and so many smokes cutting up the sight lines. You're not going to be able to get any cheese picks here if you are MEOW. Raven going to get one on the Trapper, though. A nice little pick. Bringing us even here, 4v4. but shots are hitting for Dano. Gonna get a trade. Luna getting one. Kestrel with another. Owl, this flood is good. And Ivy gonna fall. And that is another round for MEOW.
Like I said, it all starts with one round. So that's a huge pickup to get 2 in a row. That's also going to make this very, very sketchy for AKV, because I don't think they're going to be able to full buy in, at least not all of them. But it looks like they're going to force it anyway. Yeah, Bulldog going into the hands of Dano. Meanwhile, the economy is starting to come back alive for the likes of MEOW. They should be able to get full rifles across the board. Not quite full shields, but oh, and we will have one Guardian in the hands of Raven. So it's not going to be perfect for either team, but right now I think MEOW definitely have a bit of the advantage. So if they could use that...
Oh my. I'm so sorry. Okay. Early aggression, they're going to grab, I believe, this orb for Kestrel here to get that dimensional drift for that retake. And we're going to see on the opposite side of the map a lot of action. This dog going to see Icy. Icy going to be in a sticky position, going to TP out here. Luna having to hold it down. A nice flash. Gonna get a pick for Icy and Luna here. Luna with good for another. Some trades coming out. Trapper getting 2. Dystopia shutting down Luna. And it's a 2v2 situation. I mean, it's hero play after hero play for each team. This paint shell's gonna do a little bit of damage. But it's a post-play situation. They have to retake and clear all these spots before defusing this bomb. But it's winnable.
They do have Molly as well, so that's why we're seeing this Brimstone so far back, and they're expecting it. Oh, as well as the ultimate. So they get the tap. They are going to draw out the ult, which is going to be massive. I mean, the Chamber is going to spot the Brimstone themselves, and they're going to try to play up aggressive. Trapper finds a third on the round, and now Blue Owl running out of time, running out of space. Trapper finding 4 to close it out. Massive round win for them. It stems the bleeding and sends them to round or 11 wins.
Yeah, and now it is getting scary for MEOW. I mean, we're almost to match point here. I mean, what can they do on this defense? I mean, they've had some great rounds, but I mean, so many hero plays as well. Luna being good for multiple frags, and then I mean, Sniper and Trapper as well. Being able to multi-frag just kind of makes it all for naught. Let's see, we're going to see a quick execute the showers here.
We see immediate aggression here from the attack side of AKV. Just an insanely pushed up Chamber. Typically, we've been seeing Trapper play a little bit farther back, not so far up, at least not this early in the round, but they have taken so much control in showers, just completely cutting off that means for the defense to take away space. But the defense has seen that there's no one on B or no one even leaning B, so they are pushed up. Right now, AKV are just stuck pushing into A. There's no other option.
And they're right at Icy's crosshair. Icy gonna fall from that tour de force being invested to Ivy with another, punishing some of that aggression, and Plant is going to go down. Dimensional drift used
as well invested. An easy money Sniper is just finding so much value with the Guardian. 3 kills on the round now. They're hunting for the last player. The dimensional drift making it difficult to realize where they are, but the Waylay finds them. Recall the safety. Now Kestrel nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 4 on the round for easy money Sniper.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a scary situation to be in. I mean, AKV just has so many great shooters that are able to capitalize off of those multi-frags. I mean, if you cut off one head, I mean, there's you kill Trapper. I mean, Sniper and Ivy are right there to meet them. And I mean, this defense is so tough. They've been able to deal with some of this aggression, but it's never quite enough. We don't win those trades, and it's costing them these rounds.
Let's play.
Do hear that tour de force invested immediately. It is coming out from Trapper, so sitting on showers, expecting some aggression. Not going to find any yet, but that does also tell us that there's a very good likelihood that once they realize that there's 3 defenders here, that the TP will come through quickly. but they do know they also have the gut advantage. So if they can get a cheeky pick early here, then they might just force the B. But they hear at least 2. They're already backed against the TP. I'd imagine they're going to make the quick rotate and try to burst onto A rather quickly here.
I mean, kind of at a standstill right now. Nobody making any moves quite yet. We're going to see Luna get a little antsy and push up a little bit. But now they're going to be making their advantage onto the site. The dog not going to get too much info. A little flash to delay. But, I mean, they've already taken hookah space. And, I mean, they're TPing as you predicted. And Rocket Fuse is going to be invested. Going to get one on the Dono. Molly there also delaying this push into showers. And they're gonna go around. The Sniper gonna dash on and get 1, get 2, get 3. 3 for Sniper. Showing any gun will do well for them. And it's a 2v4. And the Convergence invested just for funsies, and that is round win, and that is the map.
Yeah, that is a very strong map win for AKV. MEOW definitely putting a grouping of rounds together. So they were definitely, it was not a steamroll by any shot, but it definitely was a pretty dominant win, which, I mean, who could be that surprised? AKV is statistically, I think, the best Game Changers team in Latin America. So they are an incredibly high caliber team. And you know, MEOW is no slackers either. So the fact that they were able to just, 13-6, 13-7, I think that map was, that is an incredible statement map for AKV. And notably, that was not their map pick. That was MEOW's. So we're now going to be heading over to Split here soon, and that is AKV's map pick. So if you're MEOW, you're definitely starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited to see what AKV does on their own map pick. I'm scared for you, MEOW. But at the same time, they put up a pretty great fight. They made some things happen. I'm impressed at the resilience that they showed. And we're going to be right back, but don't go anywhere. There was so much more Valorant to see. And I mean, Split is one of the map that everybody scrims. So I'm sure even though MEOW didn't pick the map, that they're very familiar. So I'm excited to see this matchup once more.
Absolutely, but we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Short break. We just had a really great map from AKV, and MEOW put up a really great fight. And I mean, there were so many players on AKV that seemed so dominant, like they were the fraggers. But don't take it from us. We're gonna look at the stats here. And Soren, let me know what your analysis is on these stats here.
Yeah, I think our wonderful production does have stats. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see. Yup, and that's kind of what we expected here. Luna Fox on MEOW side being the MVP. But
yeah,
I
mean, Luna Fox was definitely coming alive. Mainly, really started having a big impact once they swapped sides over to the defensive half. I think 4K that they got in round 2 with the Bulldog, or round 3 maybe. It would have been round 3 because they technically were at a bit of a disadvantage. They were the only one without a Vandal, and it didn't really make a difference. They got a 4K regardless, but the team did do pretty darn well. I mean, you could see the amount of kills for each player. The difference between the bottom frag and the top frag was only 4. So it was definitely a team effort for them. Unfortunately, it's just very difficult to do much when you have 2 players on your opponent's team that are dropping 20 plus kills and 300 plus ACS. By the way, 381 ACS for Trapper with 7 first bloods is absolute insanity. And a lot of that time he was operating with either the Tour de Force or the Operator or the Outlaw. So just insane op player. I expect, especially as we are moving over to Split, we probably see them keep Trapper on the chamber. Otherwise, maybe put them on the Yoru, some agent that gets a lot of value from the operator because man, Trapper was going crazy.
Yeah, I mean that is to say, I mean, easy money sniper in the name. Also was doing some pretty great work with that with the sniper, with the I believe the marshal. But I mean, at the same time, that is not to shy away from, Ivy doing some really great work setting up those kills for the fraggers with that util. Really impressive work all around. But then again, Meow put up a really great fight and they had some great rounds, some great retakes, as well as some attack rounds. But I will say, Akave's defense was super impressive.
Yeah, and that was really the big difference maker, obviously. 8 rounds on the defense on the attack siding map. It just meant that the moment they swapped over to the attack side for their second half, the means in which they needed to achieve a victory got just so much easier because they were already like statistically in a position to win out the necessary rounds. That being said, we do have a bit of a swap. We do have Meow starting on the defense here. And this is another attack side at map. This one's a little bit more attack sided as well. So Meow definitely going to be a little bit slow on the start, I would imagine here, but depending on the team, some teams love this position. I personally would be of that same belief. You have the first half, you're statistically going to struggle a little bit. You take as many round wins as you can. If you can get 4 or 5 rounds under your belt, the moment you swap halves, you're going to be feeling pretty good because you know it's going to be an easier time in the second half. And as long as you can keep momentum, you don't lose the mental in the first half, you can get the ball rolling earlier with a pistol round win. And after that, you close the gap and you keep the ball rolling until you win out the map in its end. So I think this is a great position for them to be in. It's a bounce back spot for them, but they do need to get a couple of rounds. Like I said, 4 to 5 would be ideal minimum for them on this defensive side.
Yeah, and I mean, this map is the map to win here. This is do or die for Meow. If they lose this, they're out of the tournament. And I mean, this is semis, so this is, the last hurrah for them to be able to make it to the grand finals. And as we're getting into this map, we'll check out the team comps. I like the double controller from AKV, and they're gonna do something similar on this map. And we're gonna see a fade come out from Luna.
Yeah, both teams opting in for this double duelist. Again, the only difference really actually, excuse me, it's going to be 2 completely different sets of duelists, actually. That's not something we typically see. This is, again, Yoru has just been so dominant in the current meta. I'm just so used to seeing him be played on both sides of the map. But no, it's going to be a Waylay and Neon, and then a Raze and a Yoru. That Waylay Neon composition, by the way, super scary because both of them are incredibly strong space-taking duelists that are able to just be like the tip of the spear for your entire team. Pair that up with the likes of a playmaking controller like the Omen, as well as the very strong initiator, of the Sky, who can get the flashes in deep with the birds. It's a very scary combination.
Oh, what a combo! Did you see that? They just did
yeah.
the C's Page Show combo, and they get a pick right away onto Sniper, cutting them down to size. Already, what a play.
A huge pickup early, as well as that's going to set the tone, and it's could give them a numbers advantage. Meow, this is practically perfect for them, especially as they find 2 as Dano and Trapper try to peek out on B, and they just get hard punished. Dystopia finds 1 as consolation, but the numbers advantage still in Meow's favor, 3-2.
Yeah, and I mean, Dystopia looking a little bit unhealthy, so this is going to be a rough kind of, and as I say that, Sky Healing's going to come out here, a little bit of restoration, but again, really great defense from Meow, and I mean, let's see if they can make something happen here. It's entirely possible. We've seen great things from AKV, but with these rotations coming in, it's going to get dangerous, and Luna's going to opt to give that space, but the Rafters is dangerous. Kestrel getting 1, Ivy getting the trade, but again, with another trade on the board, the numbers advantage just finished out the round for us.
Huge round win for them as they're going to be able to buy into this next round, and they're going to do something a little different from what we saw both teams do in the last map, which is invest heavy. I mean, we did see a double bulldog there, but even still, we're going to get a bulldog and an outlaw, two pretty expensive buys that could be massive difference makers. Typically, when we see this, it's because they are expecting to win out the round so convincingly that they'll be able to keep all those big weaponry pieces into round 3 to possibly have a say when they're going up against Vandals.
Oh, wow. And as you say that, the slide straight in the crosshair of Icy. And they have this space, they have the sight. But it's going to be a very scary post plant as it's going to be a 5v4 retake. Icy getting another before finally shut down. Oh my, and Raven good for 3. And, I mean, that's the round, guys. That's it, folks.
I mean, 4 players were sitting in the smoke right next to the spike, and they all decided to run into that very tight corridor, trying to make it into alley, and they were just gunned down because Raven just happened to have a bulldog. So that is going to be a nice round win for MEOW. Again, one they were expecting, but yeah, again, they were able to keep a lot of the big investment. And we do see some investment back into round 3 here, which is not typical, but Icy is going to be picking up the judge. I'd imagine, yeah, it looks like they're going to be sitting over in mid, probably sit by mail and just hope for some over-aggression into the mid space, which I think they might be right about, as the Waylay and the Sky are both sitting there. I could imagine them attempting to make something happen in the mid space.
I think they're going to wait for aggression here. They want to be able to punish the impatience of MEOW and make something happen this way. And they're going to figure out kind of, looks like a contact up here with the spike towards B, but going to be rotating. And it's going to be an A execute, I believe. No contact mid, no information given quite yet to MEOW. It's going to be scary.
The Viper Wall is giving something away. I definitely would make them think that this is going to be the lean, but I don't know if they're expecting this massive push through. But Luna does find the first one. Spectre sitting in a close angle is able to find one before finally they get something in response to Raven get a fall.
Luna dangerously low, but it is even 4v4 post-plan situation. Let's see. Ivy here kind of late. Is Viper Wall going to give them a little bit of cover here? This might be the wrap of the century here. They don't know that they're inserted here. Dono going to get one onto Luna. And, I mean, Ivy in that position. Kesha going to get one onto Sniper. And Icy taking care of Ivy. And it is a 2v2 once more.
All right, the flash of the smoke is not going to hit anything as they are just playing super far back. Dystopia with the TP is going to be vulnerable to the ghost, but without a rifle in hand, Dano is going to be able to clean up the final kill. And it's very, very sketchy. It's very costly, but AKV is going to pick up the round win. And notably, much like last game, it's great. They needed that round win to pick up their bonus, but there is so much invested that now they are going to have to settle for a judge and a bulldog. Meanwhile, look at the buyout from MEOW. I mean, sure, there's a couple of regen and some light shields, but Icy already has operator in hand.
I've got your trail.
Things are going to be very dangerous. The Seeker is going to be invested here to get some information on where people are, what site's going to have the most tension, and they're going to funnel into B where there's nobody.
Yeah, not a soul is waiting for them here, but I'm sure the Fade will hear the flash, the paranoia coming through, and now the rotates coming soon after. But Trapper with the judge is giving final judgment there to Luna, sending them back to the gray screen. And now we have the double lineup, but the operator at close range is not able to get the collateral.
Oh, wow. Really unfortunate ult there from Raven. Not going to be able to find anything. Very sad investment to see from MEOW. And after that round, they are at a deficit here. Ugh.
Okay. We do see it now split 2-2 AKV with a masterful stroke just taking B by force. The judge, though, being a massive influence there, but Trapper no longer going to be operating with one, is instead going to be picking up the Phantom, as it is going to be a full buy out here. Meanwhile, it is a hard eco round with just the tour de force as the firing power for MEOW.
Oh, not able to get anything. None of those shots connect. He's going to be shut down. Super tragic for Icy investing that. And it's going to be a free sight on B once more. As these rotations come in, we're going to see a little bit of a flank going through the attacker's spawn. Maybe something can happen and sees Dono going to catch that flank onto Raven. And Trapper just decimating Owl. And it's Kestrel all alone in this corner. That sniper doge is there. Able to get 2 with the deagle, though. But it's going to be shut down ultimately by Dystopia. Wow. What a series of events.
Like a little bit of, Valorant timing there coming in a little handy for Kestrel, but they do inevitably fall. Notably, that does help them get the Dimensional Drift online, so that is going to be an ult in the pocket of MEOW, which they'll be happy about. But I will say it's a little scary for MEOW here because obviously they were looking really good picking up the first 2 rounds. I said they needed to get at least 4 or 5 to feel really comfortable going into the second half. And getting 2 early is great, but now 3 rounds on the board for AKV, and it doesn't look like they are losing any pace as they are just running down the members of MEOW, and it seems like it's causing a little bit of chaos for this defensive rank.
Yeah, I mean, they've been stacking towards A, and now they're stacking towards B. Some of these calls are very sketchy from MEOW, but there's people on site here. Kestrel getting one on Adano, and nice kind of pick Icy there to answer. And it's just a bloodbath, a flawless round from MEOW. Signs of life. They're down, but not out for sure. And it brings us to an equalizer here.
Okay, massive round to stem the bleeding. That does equal it out 3-3. I said they needed to do something, and they do. The shots just all hit for them. And we can see the pings there coming out from AKV. If you look at the mini-map, it looks like it's going to be a mid to B angle. Something a little bit different. Obviously, we saw them play for mid last time around, but it was a very quick execute through sewers onto A, and then they got hard punished. So it looks like they're going to attempt to do something similar, I'd imagine, especially with this Neon running up alongside the dog in mid, but this time they're going to try to just take as much space onto B as possible. But there's 3 defenders.
Yeah. I mean, Kestrel definitely heard that running. They know they're in their spawn, and they're playing a waiting game here. Nice. The converted pass is going to be invested to execute, but the fade dogs can get so much value, and they're going to get away with their heads.
Okay, the execute comes through.
Oh my, Raven.
Trades a piece. 2 for 3 in favor now for MEOW. Spike's gonna get picked up, and the shots, unfortunately, just going a little bit wide. They're not able to connect onto Luna, and now they have to give up some space. Trapper, now in the 1v2, has done so well for the team so far. Finds the first one. Recall comes through. They know the location of Icy. High ground versus low ground.
What?
And the fall. Trapper is able to pick up the 4th. Insane clutch.
An interesting kind of drop down from Icy. I don't know if I liked that, but it's going to be Trapper clutching that round. That I would say was very dominant from MEOW, but I mean, if you're good for 3, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, victory from the jaws of defeat, it looked like there. I mean, just and that's really the value you get from the Waylay. Obviously, using that recall to push out, get the information on where Icy is, recall back to safety, and then able to re-peek before Icy was really ready or comfortable to deal with it. It's just so good, and it makes Waylay so strong.
A nice pick from Sniper onto the side, gonna secure them a lot of space here. Gonna get the plant down. Rotations coming in. And there's nothing from mid through attacker spawns, so they're all gonna be kind of pushing from the same angle here.
Nightmare coming through. That is going to get a little bit of information, but the trades are one apiece. Trapper getting the information to the team that there's some coming from main. But the defensive positioning is just so strong. They're covering every angle. Dano finds 2 as Ivy picks off the 1 in screens. It is just clinical defensive hold on site for this attacking side as AKV continue the run 5-3 now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful post-playing protocol. I mean, they were just perfectly placed. No one was caught out of rotation or out of position. And, I mean, even with those early shutdowns from MEOW, it just really wasn't enough. We're going to see, I believe, a nice 2-1-2 stack from MEOW here, which I like. But it's going to be a very strong push here from AKV.
They know that they have the gun advantage, so they're just going to push it. But that being said, they do find easy money sniper. The overdrive not able to do enough, but over time, the kills do equalize. And the backstab coming from Dano. I mean, Blue Owl is weak there. They're going to have to respect the snake bite, as Spike is now down 3-2. Numbers advantage for AKV.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Dano's going to catch them out, and Trapper finishing out the round there with 2. Beautiful round once more, bringing them to a very dominant position here. And as you were saying, you want them to be able to, want MEOW to be able to have, 4 or 5 rounds going into the other half. But I don't know. Will they be able to win these next 3 rounds?
Yeah, AKV have done a very good job at just denying as many rounds as possible. I mean, Trapper also winning, not this past round, but the one previous was huge for them, because if they ended up losing, they would have had to go onto an eco. So there's a good chance that they would have been punished for it.
Wow.
But yet again, super fast aggression coming out from AKV. They do get punished, one falling earlier, but Dano's able to get the counter as Dano picks up Icy, and Viper's Pit is going to be invested. The ultimate economy is just so far in favor of AKV right now. I fear they might struggle as well getting anything out of it. The Season Paint Shell combo comes back through, but not able to find anything this time around.
We're going to get a good trade. Sniper felling Luna, getting another onto Raven, and it is a 1v3 retake in this Viper's Pit as well. Just a formidable opponents that I don't think I'd push. I think I would save here, which I think Owl's gonna do, or maybe, yeah, it's just gonna be a save. I like this. I don't think we've ever seen a save round this series quite yet, but this will be our first. It's just a good protocol here. It's gonna be hard to really get anything, but I mean, we saw Trapper take 2 down with him the one time. A nice slide coming through, just going to be shut down. I guess it's a little bit more money in the pocket of Owl here going to the next round.
Yeah, that is going to be nice, and they're going to be able to keep that weaponry. So Blue Owl is going to be feeling pretty good, but the rest of the team, it's going to be a very scattered buy. It looks like really only one non-pistol, and that's going to be Kestrel picking up the Bucky, maybe getting something with the gate crash combo there, but it's going to be very tricky. But if they can get one more ult point, they'll have the interdimensional drift, and they'll be able to maybe make a play with the Bucky as well. So they could be playing around that.
Raven with an early kind of shutdown on the Sniper here in this mid space. Icy with the Tour de Force. Can something be made happen? The shots just aren't connecting for Icy on this map here. Gonna be felled by Dystopia. The Convergent Pass invested. Hard time gonna get 2, 3 for Raven before falling to Ivy. And this is a lot of good picks, and that is a round win for MEOW.
Last round in the half.
Also, it was nice to have, kind of even ult usage from both teams here invested into that round. And MEOW coming out on top pads their economy just a little bit, brings them even in terms of like the economy, but it's the last round before the half.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said before, 4 rounds was kind of the bare minimum that they needed in order to be feeling at least pretty good. A 5 would be great, and Luna finding that early pick onto Sniper could just be the momentum that they needed. One of the other prerequisites I said is that they needed to have a strong end to the half so they can carry the momentum in, and this is going well for them as AKV struggling, not going to have the numbers advantage here, but they have taken a lot of space. A is theirs for the taking. Notably, there is still one player sitting on mid.
And we're taking the dimensional drift here to get some good info. Ivy is in this late position once more that we've seen earlier, and Kestrel going to clear them, say, hey, kill this guy. Gonna go be felled. And this is so much great info for MEOW to secure this round here. It's a 2v4 situation, and Dano cannot make anything happen. Dystopia falling as well, and another round for MEOW. Exactly what you said needed to happen.
Be feeling really good. Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary for them. 5-7 is going to be a great half because again, this is the weaker side. AKV now going to be taking on the defensive end. Obviously, getting 7 on attack is good, but they're going to be feeling a little worried. They definitely have a much higher bar that they need to cross in order to win this map than in game number 1 after the half switch. So they should still be feeling pretty good because they're in the lead, but definitely going to be sweating a little bit, especially as MEOW are starting to hit stride here.
Yeah, I mean, I will say their defense showed from last map to be pretty formidable. So I'm excited to see what happens on this half here on the defensive side for AKV. And as we see, we're going to see a lot of aggression, early aggression mid here from AKV. It's going to be shut down by a lot of smokes here, but they're just watching and waiting. I think they're expecting, and it's going to be a bloodbath. We'll see. The C's doesn't really hit. Trapper going to get an early pick on the Raven. Castro getting a trade, but Trapper good for another. And it's a 3v4 for MEOW.
Trapper just feels so strong when it comes to the pistol rounds. It feels like they always get at least 1 or 2, very frequently 2. They do spot the Sky sitting over on A, unaware of the Viper, and they're just going to run right headlong into them. Ivy's going to find another one before Dano is felled, and Ivy ends up getting 2. So it's 2 for Trapper, 2 for Ivy, as it is a clinical pistol for AKV. Not great for MEOW, but definitely not down and out yet. But that's going to be feeling great for AKV as they're going to invest actually relatively light here. There's not going to be any rifles bought out, at least not hovered yet. But Trapper, despite being on the waylay and seen more as like a rifling agent, is going to be picking up the Outlaw. That could be very scary down a long-range angle. And it looks like it's going to be A, which is the correct read.
Oh, and a nice shot on the Raven is going to make a statement here, but straight into Ivy's crosshair. Going to get one before falling. Icy with the trades. And Dano here left to pick up the pieces. 2v3 now from MEOW here. It's not impossible. I'm going to opt to TP away, and Spike is down. So, it's going to be rough for them here, especially with the rotations coming in, the paranoia, and straight into a judge.
They know where they are. They heard that TP away. This Viper could just be the dagger.
Oh,
there it is.
Wow.
Dano. 3 on the round, double in the end. They're going to pick up that Outlaw so they can keep it going into round number 3. But that's a great play from them to take it to 9-5.
I mean, AKV proving to be so dominant, and it's looking like a rough start to this half for MEOW. But, I mean, we saw some really great trades coming through, but I feel as though we aren't checking or clearing corners as well as I'd like. I feel like we're losing some of that protocol. We're going to see an execute on the A, maybe poke and prod a different site to see success. Money Sniper going to get one in mid here. Another with that judge is just disgusting work. And Ivy shoulder checking, going to see them. Chopper going to cut them down. Luna with the deagle though. Kind of a nice shot there, I have to say. Going to pick up the... Try and get this plant down. Oh.
4v. Oh, wait, what? 4v2? I was gonna say
Oh
this is very
my
dangerous
days.
for Luna to be tapping the spike when you do not have any assistance. Little
But she
does
doesn't
Luna
need it.
know
It's
that
like, okay.
they just removed both players sitting on A, so now it's a 2v2. They have no idea where
Oh,
this
the
defense is, notably.
rotations.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dano's
no.
gonna find them. So now 2v1. Luna has to pull a miracle out of a hat here, but they are at least gonna get spiked down.
Yeah, I mean, that spike down definitely is a consolation. We're going to see one, but it's going to get real dangerous real fast for Luna. But getting three there, it's going to have to be an ace, but it's not going to be found.
Yeah, and I think the biggest downside here for MEOW was that second round they did attempt a buy-in, so they were not able to buy in for this round. They did also get sheriffs here, so I think they're going to be a little light on cash going into this next round. Meanwhile, AKV able to yet again keep that outlaw, but because they're on a win streak, they're able to get a lot of credits as well. So it's not going to be a perfect buy for them. Actually, I'm incredibly wrong. MEOW is going to be able to full buy in. They're going to full buy down to not a lot, so this needs to be a win for them. But there is 2 outlaws as well as a hero rifle in the hands of Dano, which makes sense. Dano, since switching over to this defensive side, has just been putting up numbers.
Sniper going to be early aggression is going to be punished by Raven here. And I mean, playing through mid here to these sites has been really nice from AKV. And we're going to see an angle towards mid here. Perhaps to be execute soon. But nothing has been cleared out quite yet. Dano's still here. The orb going to be invested in Nightmare. It's going to be pushed onto the site. Going to give that space. Let's see.
Dopia is going to be spotted there. TP's away. They're not going to have the exact location, and they don't have the read. A lot of low health bars on the side of MEOW. So the Spectre's able to do the work. Swinging through the smoke. Finds another 2. Dystopia holds the line at 3 with Dano now. With the Phantom coming through. The Paranoia is going to give away the location. Dano with a double themselves as they hold the line at B, taking it to round 11. That was must win, as now the buy is scattered for MEOW.
Yeah, that was definitely a round they really needed to win, and it's so surprising that they had so much firepower and were felled by a Spectre. Just the Spectre spray of a lifetime. I'm truly baffled by that execute there. But it's salvageable for MEOW as long as, you know, they can take 3 rounds straight here. Dystopia is a nowhere, but Icy's gonna get that timing. Wow. Spamming through the smoke here. They're expecting this aggression like we've seen, but it's not gonna be punished this time. Sniper gonna get a nice pick. Gonna slide in. And that was a very ambitious slide from Sniper. It's gonna be punished once more by Raven. Taylor's almost time. Let's see. Dog gonna catch them out there. A little bit of damage done, but they're gonna get away, and the rotations are in. Fox here still inserted into mid, though. We'll see if we can get the plant down. Nothing has been quite cleared. Ivy onto Icy, and they're in mid now. In this Raptor space. Trapper here with this operator. Some hefty gunfire. Luna gonna give it on to Dano. Trades coming in. Raven onto Ivy. And it's a 2v1. Trapper with this operator. And it's gonna be a round win for MEOW. Signs of life. They're still in it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were able to get it off of back some really good play, especially in mid, punishing some overzealousness, specifically from Easy Money Sniper, sliding in deep without knowing how many players were sitting in sewer. It was just a death trap for them. So that is going to be a round win for MEOW as they stem the bleeding. The first round win they've gotten this half. Now they need to make it count. We saw them put up a fight in the second half last match. And you know what they say, every comeback starts with one round. So this is it. They need to get 5 in a row in order to bring it back to level.
Ooh,
And Icy with an up shot, finding Ivy's leg and getting the elim there is massive. They immediately are going to try to force the issue.
Petrol with another one on to Trapper. Gonna get quickly executed, but Dano is here to answer in this smoke. See if they can make something happen here. The plant is down. Nice little bit of money in the pocket. And it is a 5v3 retake situation here. But overdrive could happen with one pick by Sniper.
Yeah, and it actually looks like we might be getting a save. Would make sense. They're a little low on cash. Ivy is going to still have a little bit to work with, so they'll be able to buy in. You know, Dystopia having 25 means that they're going to be able to assist someone else with buying a rifle. So if these 3 save, they'll be in a good enough spot to have full buy into next, which they kind of really need, especially as we do see MEOW. They are now in a pretty good spot. They obviously have a full buy across the board. Those who have late armor are going to be able to buy into heavy armor this next round, and they'll still be healthy enough to do so. And the economy is going to look pretty good. I mean, yeah, you could see Raven there with 5,000 credits. Same with Luna Fox. So they are going to be feeling great. They have 3 ultimates in hand. AKV are just about going to be able to get full rifles, just 2 things of heavy shields and only 2 ultimates rather than the 3. So AKV, if they want to stem this bleeding, are going to need to find some, I'd imagine, some first bloods. They need to rely on Trapper, obviously 7 first bloods in the last match. If they cannot lose someone early like they have the last 2 rounds, they could take this round from underneath MEOW, but they're going to need to find that aggression early and not get punished for it.
Definitely a very fast push from MEOW onto the site here. I'm curious to see if it will invest some util trying to get that last point for ult point for Sniper here. And we're going to see Icy with the op here, but also can have the Tory Force for next round, which will be really nice. We hear them coming and sliding. Convergent paths are going to be invested. Kestrel going to get that Molly's going to delay the push, but Trapper going to get 2 with the ult. Dano, Wanda, Icy. Owl going to get 1 trade, but it's a 2v3. Now it's a 1v3, and it is dangerous. And that is going to be another round, bringing us to match point for AKV.
Match point, notably here, there will still be plenty of money for MEOW to buy in, and typically this is a really good thing. You know, have a lot of money in the bank, you can always buy in next if something goes wrong. But now that it's 12 on the board for AKV, it needs to be flawless. MEOW are gonna be able to get a full buyout. No operator, but they will. Well, they technically could if Raven wants to get it, but they're not going to elect to do so. So it's gonna be full buys. They're gonna have the ability to continuously buy in for these next couple rounds as long as they keep winning them. But now AKV have set themselves up. They don't need to just win a couple rounds. They just need to win one in the next 5, and they take the series and secure their spot in the grands. And Ivy finding that first blood is going to be a massive stepping stone towards that grand final spot.
I was expecting the early aggression from AKV with that overdrive. And I mean, dangerously low. Trapper is taking a lot of damage from that early aggression here. And it's a 4v5. It's nothing is impossible yet for MEOW. But AKV is watching and waiting here. Smoke's going to come out here. It's going to be a push into rafters. And they're going to be right into the judge crosshair of Sniper. Paranoia invested. Dano going to get a backstab. Raven getting a pick, and it's quickly becoming a 3v3, bringing us to an equalizer. But Dystopia in the smoke, they don't quite know. They hear it. They have not been cleared, but do they know? Oh no.
Okay.
Dystopia getting that backstab and TPing away. Ivy gonna clear this out here.
30 seconds left.
And it's quickly becoming a disaster, but Owl getting one of Trapper, gonna be felled. And Dystopia once more just TPing out.
Standing.
And that will be map 2 and the series win for AKV, proving to be the undefeated of this series. Super dominant, super great from both teams, but that's gonna be MEOW showing the door.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be an insane win for AKV. They look incredibly strong throughout the entire process of that. And the scary thing is it's every member. I mean, Trapper obviously was getting the most praise just because of how large of a KDA they had, just constantly putting up numbers, constantly getting first bloods. But I even look over to like Dystopia there at the final moments, getting that 3K on the round, was constantly in and around B, and it felt like every time they pushed on the B, Dystopia was getting at least one, very often getting more. And it's that individual performance, even if it doesn't put them at the top of the leaderboard, that solid defensive stance makes it so difficult for your opponents to play around. So it's a massive win for them. I mean, you can see there 263 ACS, 250 for Dano. MVP yet again goes to Trapper. Nowhere near as dominant as the last game, you know, no, not 28 kills, but does still get the 18 and strong. Kestrel, though, you also have to give a lot of credit, was doing well over on, I believe they were playing the Viper in map number 1, did well, and now on the Yoru did even better, keeping up with Trapper, but unfortunately it just was not able to overcome the amount of just statistical dominance that the AKV team is able to hand out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some really great things from all of the players of AKV, and I'm gonna shout out Sirius, Fox, and Glitch, our lovely producer and observers here. I saw some praise in the chat about our observers, and yes, they're putting in some really great work. I will say, MEOW, on the other hand, had some very great defensive holds here. We saw some really great things from all of the players, but I have to say, you know, Owl, while their KDA isn't the most attractive, they were getting some really great trades for their teammates, which I think is the most important part. Even if you aren't, you know, a multi-fragger like Ivy was, it was super cool to see in Kestrel just really being consistent on those fights, and you know that might have been a util diff, you know, being able to flash in. But then again, you know, MEOW, I think they can go back to the drawing board for sure. Review these matchups, and I think maybe next Blitz they would definitely have a really great shot at, you know, winning against AKV. But then again, AKV is, you know, one of the best teams in Latin America in terms of GC, if not the best. So definitely a tough opponent to beat for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where I think MEOW could make it all the way to the grand finals. It just happens to be that the path that they had to go through to get there involved going through AKV. If they were on the other side of the bracket, they would be a contender for that final spot. But unfortunately, like you said, AKV is just one of the best teams, if not outright the best team in Latin America for Game Changers. So incredibly good team. But with all that being said, I think we are going to send it to a break. That's going to be me done for the day. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you, Relucent. But I think you're going to have an even more incredible caster. I believe Pastel is going to be joining you on the desk next, and I got the cast with them yesterday, and they're incredible. So that is it for me. We're going to be going into a break, and when you go back with the desk, it is going to be grand final, so you will not want to miss a thing. We'll see you in just a little bit.